Welcome back to another Daily Walk. I want to warn you before you proceed with this video. There is content on this video that is documenting the landslide into absolutely horrible sin. And it may not be appropriate for young viewers. So if you have young viewers around, you might not want to listen to this aloud. And if you are deeply disturbed by these matters, you also may want to give this one a miss. But if you want to hear what's going on, what maybe your money is funding, keep listening. Well, today I want to catalog a little bit more about this disgusting trend on to crazy sexual perversions. And I think that this is an interesting discussion to talk about because I had mentioned in the past that the things that was happening in the homosexual community 20 and 30 years ago are starting to happen in the pedophile community now. There are these things that they have a different name for them now. I'm forgetting exactly what the new name is, but they're what are called celibate pedophiles. So people who will not engage in this behavior, but they have this deep temptation to. And I've seen all sorts of interesting, crazy things. Now, as I was researching for the book, I Am Not Amused, I went back and did a lot of work and a lot of research looking at some of these trends. Particularly, most of this kind of stuff tends to start in Hollywood. Of course, right now we're having this big thing with like Netflix. I got news for you guys. If you are supporting Netflix right now, you are literally supporting the devil. Let me tell you some of the things that are creeping up in Netflix in the recent weeks and stuff. Let's first actually go back to, I think this was a presentation from Fox. So it was on television, and it was a TV show called The Mick. And the Mick, they started to engage in a lot of this sexuality with this. I thought it'd be fun sitting in front of this weeping willow tree, but man, the wind comes by and blocks me out. All right, proof, we're not in a green screen, right? All right. So I encountered this show called The Mick, and I watched a few of the episodes to see what they're really trying to do. And this was a classic example of Hollywood sexualizing children. So this television show has a 6-year-old boy in it, and they always are playing some type of weird sexual gag with this 6-year-old boy. In one episode, he breaks like his jaw, I guess, or something. And so instead of having like some standard whatever you might have from the hospital, they literally have this 6-year-old boy walking around the rest of the episode wearing a ball gag, which is a thing that you will find in a not at Walmart, we'll put it that way. Other times in this show, they start teasing the trans. They had the boy be trans one day because he wants to be in the girls' school rather than the public school. And so we start to see this sexualization of children coming up. I believe it is premiering September 9th on Netflix as a new show. I think most of the rest of these are actually Netflix. That was a Fox, which is now owned by Disney. Surprise, surprise. But the rest of these that I'm going to mention right here are actually from Netflix. So you guys that are supporting Netflix, you're giving Netflix money because, oh, it's just so convenient. You are supporting this. Let me tell you some of the things I found just today. There is one called Cuties. This one caused a little bit of controversy. This is actually a French film. It's by whatever the French word is for cuties over there. The premise here is that there is a girl who is being raised, of course, by a conservative family, and of course conservatism is evil today. Didn't quite say that right. Conservatism is evil today, and so she's got to learn how to bust out of her conservatism. And to do this, she is an 11-year-old, mind you, and she joins a twerking squad. So this is a bunch of little 11-year-olds in very scanty clothing, literally modeling the types of things you'd see in some pornographic film, and they're twerking so that she can, quote, break away from her parents' conservative upbringing. Now, people complained about this, and they decided to change the poster from what was basically what you might see in an adult club and change it into these same 11-year-old girls in the same clanty dress clothing walking down the street, as if that's a whole lot better. But this is an 11-year-old girl. They are literally exploiting these, having these girls be twerking in this show to bust out of conservatism. Okay? Now, There's another one on Netflix called Yes, God, Yes, that is a 16-year-old girl experimenting with self-stimulation. Less said about that, the better. Another new one is called Babysitter's Club. This is a reboot of Babysitter's Club. Of course, old days Babysitter's Club, you know, good, clean, wholesome family fun. And so they reboot these things that you, as when you were teenagers, really enjoyed. You're like, oh, okay, that's a fun thing. I remember watching Babysitter's Club, so let's go ahead and put this on the Babysitter's Club. And all we're getting is transgenderism, sexuality, as if this little kid knows the difference between boy and girl. Of course, they make it very, very, the doctor comes in, oh, the little man's here. Oh, here's a blue hospital gown. Oh, it's like, it's so blatantly insane, but the entire purpose is to teach your kids. By the way, I've not seen these, but a friend of mine's daughter is doing some babysitting stuff, and I've heard that the things on Disney is just pure transgender indoctrination, and that's something that's supposed to be safe for your children. The most disturbing thing of all is an animated series. This makes Family Guy look like clean, fun entertainment. It is animated, and it is on Netflix, and it is called Big Mouth. And this show, they are literally exploring teenage kids actually engaged in sexuality. In one scene, and literally I had like a 16-minute clip just to say, okay, what really are they trying to do? I stopped about a minute in when they had a prepubescent boy animated naked. Zoomed in, down there. Netflix. Exploring sexuality among teenagers. It is so graphic, it is absolutely, absolutely insane. That is the type of stuff that we are starting to see come through in Hollywood. Most of that, like I said, is on Netflix. Now, it always starts there, and then it creeps on into general culture and into law, such that, oh, I forgot to write down the guy's name. I think it's Weiner, or is it Weiner? Scott Weiner, whatever his name is, in San Francisco, whatever it is. He just introduced state bill, is it state bill, or it's SB 145. I don't know if this is a state bill exclusive to California or if this is a Senate bill. I read most of the bill. I just did not actually read exactly who it's for. But this is an alteration to the sex offenders registration that he wants to make it legal. Like, he wants to make it change the law that there can be a 10-year difference. Why? Well, he is a homosexual man who says, I think it's wrong if a 24-year-old man has sex with a 15-year-old boy. I think that that is wrong to call that pedophilia. And so he introduced SB 145. You can look up the text of that bill, Scott Weiner in San Francisco, California, to change that to a 10-year difference. And I did not see any other stipulations in here, literally meaning a 21-year-old could feasibly have sex with a 12-year-old, and it is not considered something worthy of being put on a sex offenders registry. Now, the condition is if there's no other crime involved, but we see that. Of course, it's not quite as bad as what's going on in Somalia right now, where they are forcing arranged marriages of girls as soon as they are sexually mature. This is the type of stuff that we are seeing in our culture. And I apologize again if this is too graphic for you, but I want you to wake up and start focusing on the Word of God and what is important, and take strong stances and get involved in these politics and tell these people, no, this is insane. Of course, 1 Corinthians 6:18, flee sexual immorality. I like this section over here, though, from Mark 7:20 to 23. He's talking about what is defiling you. So the Pharisees are over here are giving them a hard time because, you know, they're not washing their hands prior to eating grain. Sounds like 2020, right? Oh, wash your hands, wear the mask. Figure out how to eat the grain while wearing your mask, I guess. But he says, Jesus replies back to them, starting in verse 20, that which proceeds out of a man, that is what defiles a man. For from within, out of the heart of man, shall proceed evil thoughts, fornications, thefts, murders, adulteries, deeds of coveting and wickedness, as well as deceit, sensuality, envy, slander, pride, foolishness. All of these evil things proceed from within and defile the man. This is the defilement that we are seeing in our culture, and we are allowing it to happen by paying these companies to pump filth into our televisions. Now, I wrote the book, I Am Not Amused, which is probably the best and most balanced take you will ever read on Hollywood productions. It's not all like, hey, absolutely, we have to ban all Hollywood, but there comes a point in time when a company like Netflix keeps on giving us things that are so vile, it's indescribably vile. When Disney is starting to do this, and we just hand over all of our money to these companies, we are encouraging this to happen. We have to take a stronger stand. We have to do this. We have to take a strong stance about these things. I will definitely encourage you to read that book. And we'll go ahead and put that on sale on my own web store. So have a look at my web store there for the coupon code. We'll do the coupon code IANA for I Am Not Amused. That'll save you 20% off on the book and anything else you buy while you are at the web store. So we'll have a look at that down there in the description there. And you guys got to open up. You guys got to see what's out there. It is disturbing. It is absolutely disturbing. So thanks for coming on this video. Share this among the people. Let people know what these companies that you're probably paying are pumping into our houses. It is disturbing. It is disturbing. Thanks for coming along. I hope that you enjoy your daily walk in our Lord.